Good morning, how are we all doing? Welcome to another fishing video. We did attempt to go fishing during the week. We went on a Wednesday, which was the 10th of January. It was a little bit blustery as I left mine along the seafront here. And I said to G, I've got a feeling it's going to be a little bit blustery when we get down on that beach. Anyway, we headed down to Tramps Alley, Corton. We got to the beach. I kid you not, there was 10, 15 foot high waves crashing in. The wind coming off the sea was gusting 20, 25 mile an hour. It was just absolutely unfishable. There was no way we could have fished that day. So we stood there for about 20 minutes watching the waves crashing in, watching some guy flying around on a windsurfer thing. And yeah, that's it. We walked back to the car and we headed home. Fortunately, all our baits were frozen baits. We had squid, mackerel, and the yellowtails we had were frozen. So everything just went back in the freezer. So fortunately, nothing was wasted. We didn't pick up any fresh worm that day. So at least that's one advantage. We could have gone on the Thursday, which was the 11th of January. But that was my birthday. I was 48 years old on Thursday. But we knew we weren't going to fish Thursday. There was me, Grant, Tubbs, the usual crowd to go fishing. We decided to pay one or two pubs in town a visit. I think we started at about 1 in the afternoon and I don't know what time in the morning we finished, but it was a bit of an all-day session on Thursday to celebrate my birthday. And then again, the weather's just been bad. Today is the first break in the weather. It looks half decent out there today. A little bit on the chilly side. I think it's about 4 degrees, maximum of 5 degrees, but the wind is minimal and conditions are looking good. Also today, I'm going to continue with this. I mentioned it on my last video about me doing a species hunt. I've actually finally printed one. Oh, look, all my birthday cards there, look, all my birthday cards. Now, I've printed one out. So this is my species hunt for this year. And these are all fish that I'm in with a chance of catching. We've got like bass, bream, eel, conger eel, cod, dab, mackerel, mullet. So the majority of these fish we can catch up here on our waters. We have got to make another trip down to the south coast at some point this year. Like I say, there's a few fish on there, especially with like garfish, for example. Sole we do get up here, but not that often. Plaice are very rare up here, more likely down there. Wrasse we're definitely going to get down there. Mullet we're definitely going to get down there. So there's 1 or 2 fish that we're going to be having to go down there to catch. As you can see on my last fishing trip, I managed to tick a dab off and I've ticked a whiting off. Now I've left nothing in the weight and length section because they weren't real no size or weight, they were tiny. But I've caught them, so they got ticked off. But now if I catch any more and they're a decent size, I can start writing the weight and the length in. So that'll give me a total by the end of the year what's the biggest one I have caught of that species. There's also a few blanks at the bottom, so if we catch anything that isn't on the list, I can add that to the bottom of the list. So I think I've got 2 on my species hunt. I believe G is on 4 already. He pulled out a pouting and he pulled out a fullback ray, as well as a dab and a whiting. So he is already 2 in front of me. So hopefully today, put out some more different species. Hopefully today I can put out a decent sized dab and a decent sized whiting. I mean, if they're over the 30s, if they're 34, 35, 40 centimetres on the whiting, then that's worth measuring and worth weighing and writing down. But if they're coming in like 20 centimetres like the ones the other day, they're just not work. Do you know what I mean? I know I'm going to get bigger, so I'm leaving those spaces blank. But that's just something for me this year to aim at. Hopefully by the end of the year, if I get every fish ticked off that list and I can add a couple at the bottom that I haven't even written down, then that would just be an absolute bonus, wouldn't it? An absolute bonus. Right, anyway, it's just gone 10 to 8 in the morning. I'm about to go and meet G. I believe Lee is coming with us today as well. We've got G's brother-in-law, Lee. He's coming with us. So we're going to meet them. We're going to grab a bit of breakfast somewhere quick. I believe Lee needs to get bait. So we've got to go Galston Tackle Centre. I think they open at 8:30. So we need to pop in there. Lee needs to pick some bait up. And then we're going down to Tramps Alley, Corton, where we are not going to have 15 foot high waves like we did the other day. Hopefully anyway, fingers crossed. Right, I will see you guys when we are down on Corton Beach, Tramps Alley. See you there. So we're down there and we're all set up. It's just gone 9:10 in the morning. It is currently 2 degrees and it's going to get a warm today of 4 degrees. Wow, it's going to go a whole 2 degrees higher. But we've got myself here, G is there, and we've got Lee on the end. Right, left hand side, I've got a 2 hook flapper. We got some salted mackerel on there, and we got some yellowtail that was frozen and thawed out on there. And right hand side, pulley pennel, quite a long snood on there, and that is going down to a whole squid bait on the bottom. Right, let's get this into the water. So I've cast them out, but I have swapped them over. The tide is really pulling to the right. You can see by the tops of the rods, it's really pulling to the right. So obviously the 2-hook flapper only goes out, well, nowhere near as far as the pulley pennel. And the pulley pennel went out and the line was going over that, so I've just swapped them over. It is fresh, I'm not gonna lie, it is fresh. But nothing like it was the other day. Like I say, when we was here the other day, absolutely unfishable. Lee's casting out, G's out, I think that's Lee's first cast. We could not have fished this the other day, absolutely no way. It was just, like I say, absolutely no way. Right, have a quick little look at the bait. Right, so we've got some of these, they're yellow tails. I mean, they're very similar to the blacks really, but they were yellow tails, they were frozen, so what we bought the other day, they didn't get used. So they went back in the freezer. I've got a whole wrap of them. I've got a bit of squid left over from last time in there, and I've got a bit of squid left over from last time in there. My mackerel, I was saying about last time when I was using the mackerel, that once it starts thawing out, it just becomes so brittle when it falls apart, and it's just an absolute nightmare. So what I've done the other day, when I got it out of the freezer, once it thawed out a little bit, I cut it all up into strips already, and I've literally just saturated it with salt. And you can see by that what it does to it. Look how rigid it keeps it once it's covered in salt. I think there's 2 mackerel in total cut up in there, and that's going to last all day now, as opposed to it all breaking up, all getting fleshy, falling apart. G's having a reel in. I don't know when this tide was that came up here, but there's a little bit of seaweed up on the beach here, so I'm hoping we're not getting into the seaweed. G's just reeling in now, so find out the weed situation. Fingers crossed, no weed. Like I say, it's currently what, about 9:15. I believe high tide is about 11:30 this morning. So we've got what, a couple of hours of the tide coming in. We'll obviously fish the ebb, and then we'll have a couple of hours of the tide going out. And I reckon by then we'll be so frozen cold that we'll be headed home. No weed. Look at that. Bait's all still on there, so no crabs out there, no weed. That's all good. Right, I'm feeling positive for today. Well, I'm just waiting to see what boats turn up today as well. When did we come down to fish? Last week it was the Wednesday. That's when we couldn't fish because of the storms. I think the day before that, the Tuesday, may have even been the Monday. We had the old boats down here as usual. I think Leader's charter boat was down there. I think there was a couple from Yarmouth down there. Literally 200-300 yards maximum off of here, and they were putting out cod all day long, and they were absolutely massive. And literally talking 200 yards off the beach. I was just talking to AD in Galston Tackle Centre, and he said the boats were down here again yesterday, and they were putting out skate, and they were putting out cod, and again, literally, they were just a couple of 100 yards off. So obviously, what today being Sunday, and quite a few people being off work, I wouldn't be surprised if we have some boats come down today as well. But that just shows you what the difference is. Like I say, the difference between here and 300 yards. But all it takes, a couple of them bigger fish, a couple of them bigger cod, just to swim a bit closer in. That's all it takes. And we could get something decent out today. Well, what do you do when it's beginning of January and you're on a beach and it's 2 degrees? You make yourself a nice cup of tea, don't you? Well, I do anyway. Oh, that is boiling hot. But I see Lee having a reel in. I'm still on my first cast out there. I haven't reeled anything in and checked anything yet. Like I say, I've cast him out, I've put him out there. I went and had a little chat with Lee. Right, Lee's reeled in. From what I can see, his bait has come back untouched and no seaweed again. So that is a good sign, especially seeing how much weed has like washed up on this beach. The fact that no one's putting any weed out is a good sign. So I am going to enjoy my cup of tea. Let's go down the street, that is. I want to enjoy my cup of tea, I want to keep an eye on those rods, and we will come back when there is a fish on there. Not if there is a fish on there, when there is a fish on there. Positive mental attitude today. Oh well, G hasn't blanked, he's pulled out a whiting. Absolutely tiny one though. That's alright though, at least you ain't blanked. And look, nice big hook, and he's just took that in the corner of his mouth.
Bit of work.
Nice and easy to get off. Happy days. Oh well, G ain't blanked. I'm gonna reel mine in a minute. Like I say, you get a whiting like that on there, you wouldn't even know who's on there. No bite notification or nothing, do you know what I mean? Tiny. So, I'm gonna reel mine in a second. Just make sure my bait's on there okay. Make sure I'm doing okay for the seaweed. But at least G hasn't blanked. Well, I've just reeled both of them in. Bait absolutely untouched on both of them. A little bit of weed, just a little bit, just where my knot is, from my main line to my shock leader. But literally just a little couple of straggly bits hanging off, not like clumps of weed. But yeah, bait absolutely untouched. I'm not casting as far today as I would like to. I've done something to my elbow. I don't know what I've done. You know, you get a thing called tennis elbow. I think I might have a thing called fisherman's elbow. I think just some casting and reeling in too much. It's all them big fish I catch, you see. it does me elbow in. I don't know if you can see there, but at the end of my finger, we have got a boat heading down. That's a fishing boat, little fishing boat. And I've got a feeling he is going to stop literally just there in front of us. That's my reckoning. It's just crazy, isn't it? Like I say, 200-300 jars, that's all the difference is. But I'll guarantee you he's going to stop literally just out in front of us. But no weed is a good sign. Like G's had that little whiting out. As of yet, no one's pulled anything out, but it's still early. What's the time now? What time did we start fishing? 9, 10 past 9, something like that. 20 to 10. So, been fishing for half hour. But I've still got a good few hours yet. Well, I've been fishing for just under an hour and still no fish as yet. The only person that's caught was G. He's had that little whiting out. Lee's pulled nothing out. G just got snagged. He got on a snag out there and he was putting it, but luckily he got it free. He come in and he bought everything and he didn't lose his weight or anything. I don't know if you can see, but at the end of my finger there, that is that boat. He came all the way down. He went all the way along. He turned around, he come back and he's anchored up over there. So, like I say, what is he, 300 yards off the beach down there? He's not far off. I've just made myself another cup of tea. It's definitely a fresh one down here today, definitely. I mean, again, I've got my jacket and that down there. I'll put my woolly hat on. We've got a woolly hat on, so my head's warm. That's the thing, if you keep your head warm, your hands warm and your feet warm, you're generally okay. I mean, I've got my thermal leggings on, I've got thermal socks on and my boots on, so my feet and my legs are okay. I've got my thermal hat on, so my head's okay. And like I say, as my hands get cold, I either put them in my pocket or hold on to a cup of tea. I've reeled both there. I've reeled the one on the left in, the 2-hook flapper. All the bait was totally stripped. The mackerel, the worm, everything was gone off that. So I put fresh worm on the left hand side and put that back out. The squid on the right, totally untouched, so I've thrown that back out. I will eventually cut more casts, take it off and put fresh squid on there. The longer it's in the water, it's sort of the scent and that gets washed out of it, so it's not really going to attract the fish too much. But I would eventually take that whole squid off, put another whole squid on, so there's a nice bit of fresh squid out there. All I can do, drink my tea, keep an eye on them rods and hope for the best. Oh, well, G's just pulled number 2 out. He's pulled himself, he got a little dab. He's pulled himself, yeah. He's mottled, isn't he? He's dark, man, isn't he?
Is it?
Yeah, he's really mottled and dark, man, isn't he?
You've even got straight eyes, this one, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That's a weird one, isn't it?
That might be a tiny little baby flounder, man, I don't know. Nah, that's a dab, man, that's a dab. It's just like really mottled, man.
Their eyes are up here though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Look at his eye.
That hook's nearly gone through it, isn't it? Hook's nearly gone through it. It's weird then, dabs, isn't it? Sometimes they come out and they're so clean looking. They're so like really nice light brown, so clean. And sometimes you pull them out and they're really sort of mottled skin and dark skin. Oh, I'm keeping an eye on these waves. Look, some of these waves are crashing up here now. I'm getting a couple coming up on this sand bit. Look at that wave, look. So I'm keeping an eye on them. Like I say, I'm only there. I think it's about 20 past 10, half 10-ish. So we've got another hour till high tide. So I'll be alright, I'm alright where I am. I might get the odd rogue wave come up here, but other than that I think we'll be alright. Well anyway, that's 2 for G so far. And nothing for me and nothing for Lee. But it is still early. It's just come up to 11:15 and I've still had no fish out as yet. And we have got some big old waves crashing up here. I've just on the cautious side, my stuff was all sort of there. I've just moved it back a little bit further. You can see one of them puddles there. We've had 1 or 2 rogue waves come up. I don't mind hitting the tripod a little bit, but obviously don't want any of my gear getting wet. I don't want my bait getting washed out to sea or nothing. Yeah, very quiet at the moment. But like I say, that first boat that pulled up, he's gone a little bit further out and a bit further down. And then a red boat come past, which I believe is Lead Us charter boat. Comes out of Lowestoft. He came past and he went all the way down and out. He is pretty much right down. Looking at where he is, I think he's sort of down by Galston. But he's way out. He's way out past where the wreck is and out of Galston. So is that the thing at the moment? Are the fish like much further out than they normally are? Like I say, G's pulled that tiny little whiting out, tiny little dab out. Me and Lee have had absolutely nothing as yet. But we've got about 45 minutes and then it hits high tide. So once we hit the high tide and it starts retreating, you never know. You never know, might get something out. I jinxed it earlier, didn't I? Because I said earlier, oh, it's not if I catch, it's when I catch. Never take it for granted when you're fishing. Never take it for granted. And there you go. Fish number 3 for G. Another little whiting again though. Tiny little pin whiting. But you think that's a small feather caught? I've seen bigger fish in the fish. I've seen bigger fish in the fish tank, G. Oh, that's alright though, isn't it? Grant's alright, he's got 3 out. I know they're only little ones, but you know what I mean? At least he's catching, isn't he? Me and Lee have had absolutely nothing out, and how mad is that? Do you know what I mean? We're all using squid, we're all kind of using mackerel, we're all using the frozen worms that have fallen out, all on the same bait, all casting the same sort of distances. Me and Lee, either side, totally blanking, G's in the middle, putting them out. It's just how it goes sometimes, isn't it? Hey, we've saved the blank, we've saved the blank, we've saved the blank. We pulled a whiting out, not a bad size. He's took, look, he's gone for the whole squid on a pulley pennel. Luckily he's just took the bottom hook in there, so that ain't gonna be too bad to get out. He's not a bad size, he's definitely over keeper. I was keeper 27, he's definitely over keeper size. So we're getting him off and we're getting him back in, but we saved the blank. Hey, I know G saved the blank, but I'd rather pull one out that size than pull them little things he's been pulling out. Right, let's get him off and let's get him back in. Hey! Hey, well that saved the blank, didn't it? I'll tell you what, as I was looking at him, I reckon he must have been about 30 centimetres, I reckon, that whiting. He weren't too bad. Definitely better than what the couple of little ones that G's been putting out. I think G just got snagged up again. There's definitely a snag out right in front of where G is. That's a couple of times now he's been caught up out there. Yeah, I was reeling it in. There felt like there was a little bit of weight to it, but I really had a feeling I was just going to be pulling a big clump of weed out. That's all I thought was going to be on there. And I was quite surprised when I see him. And yeah, he went for a whole squid on a pulley pennel, that whiting. And like I say, luckily he just took that bottom hook, corner of his mouth, nice and easy to get off. I moved my tripod back a little bit. Some of these waves are really crashing up now, really crashing up. It's just gone about 5 past 11, something like that. So we've got about 25 minutes till high tide. So we'll have the tide in for what, 40, 45 minutes or so. And then it'll start retreating. I've just checked the weather on my phone to see if it's got any warmer, and it is still 2 degrees. That's not warmed up at all, 2 degrees. But we've got fresh bait back out there. So let's see if we can get something decent out now. Well, it's just gone 11:30, so that is it. We're on high tide right now. G's pulled a couple more of those little whiting out. He's literally just reeled in now and pulled another one out. Literally, they're sort of like that, absolute tiny ones. So I think I was quite lucky to get that sort of 30 odd centimetre one out that I've had out. I don't think Lee has had anything out yet. I don't think Lee's had anything at all. But like I say, it's high tide now. Give it another half hour or so, tide to start retreating, and you never know, do you? You never know what can come out. Another guy's just turned up. He's a bit further up there. He come over, had a little chat. I think he said he's from up Martham way, North Norfolk, but he said fishing up there has been absolutely terrible. He said he's done a bit of fishing the last few days and absolutely nothing has been coming out up there. The sun is trying to make an appearance. It keeps popping through those clouds, but it's doing nothing. It is absolutely bitter down here, 2 degrees. I've just had another cup of tea just now, try and warm myself up a bit. It is absolutely bitter down here. The only time you don't feel the cold is when you're catching a fish. It's amazing, isn't it? You can be cold, shivering, everything, but when you put a fish out, it just warms you up straight away, doesn't it? Instantly. So that's what I need to do. I need to catch more fish and it'll warm me up. Whiting number 2. And again, he's took the whole squid on a pulley pennel. And he's taking that down. That's the top hook there. And the bottom hook. He's taking that down. Greedy bugger. Greedy bugger. Right, we'll try and get him off. He's only got one eye. Look at that eye, look. Look, it's good eye, bad eye. Right, we'll try and get him off. We'll see if we can get him back alive, but he has taken that down quite deep. G's just pulled another one out, a little whiting. Lee has still pulled nothing out. Right, let's get him off. He wasn't hooked too bad, he come off alright. Once I got that top hook out, the other one literally just pulled straight out. He hardly took anything in. It's 12 o'clock now, so high tide was 11:30, but we're still getting a few waves come up. I've just literally had a wave come up right like there where my foot is, and my stuff's there. But like I say, that should be on the retreat soon. Like I say, a half hour ago was high tide. Should be on the retreat, so hopefully we can get something better out. Hopefully Lee can get something out. Lee's not even had anything yet, nothing. Like I say, that G's had a few of those little skinny whiting out. Yeah, one that weren't too bad. I had a 30 odd centimetre one. That last one weren't too bad. I didn't measure him, but he must have been around keeper size, I reckon. But luckily he come off pretty easily, and he went back in to see another day with his one eye. G's reeling in. I don't know if he's got anything on there though. He's reeling in too freely, or if he has, going to be another one of those little whiting. I was just talking to G about fishing next week. So today is Sunday. G's got a few things to do tomorrow, and not only that, but the weather is saying like really bad winds and that for tomorrow as well. The wind's going to be really picking up bad tomorrow. So we were saying Tuesday we might go up to, he has, look, double whammy. He's pulled 2 whiting in. Bottom one don't look too bad, top one's a little skinny one, but yeah, look, double whammy for G. Yeah, so Tuesday we're saying we might go Backton, Walcott, something like that, up that way. I don't think I've ever fished Backton, so that might be something to look at. I know a lot of people that do fish Backton, I think they tend to go more around the back of the power station there. I think they tend to go around the back of the power station, so we'll look into that, but that could be a good day's fishing for Tuesday. And then I'm back to work Wednesday. I've had 9 days off for my birthday. Some of these waves coming up, look. Ooh. And I'll tell you what, there's a little bit of warmth coming off now. That sun has come through those clouds. As soon as the sun comes through, that was it, heated up instantly. Another wave. Look, my stuff's only there, but I'm being brave. I'm not going to move it. I'm either being brave or being stupid. Find out in a minute. Just coming up to 12:30. So high tide was an hour ago, but still getting 1 or 2 rogue waves coming up. Waves have definitely dropped in size now. They're not like as big and crashing as they were, but every now and then I'm still getting the odd one that's coming up. I'm going to speak to G in a minute, see what the plan is. I'm thinking of doing another hour. I'm thinking of fishing till 1:30 and then start packing down. What time did we start fishing? Just gone 9. So that'll be what, 10, 11, 12, 1. So that'll be 4.5 hours we've done. Just been a bit slow on the fish front, really. Well, especially slow for Lee. He has had absolutely nothing out. Nothing. I've had what, 2 whiting. G's had, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 whiting and a little dab. I've still got nothing extra to put down on my species hunt list. I'm still only on 2 fish. G is still on the 4 fish. But like I say, still got another hour or so to go yet. Might get a little pouting out or something. Might give me another one to tick off. But yeah, I'm going to speak to G, speak to Lee, see what the plan is. Yeah, maybe do another hour, fish till 1:30. By the time we pack down, get up to the car, it's going to be nearly 2. And then that's it. Oh, I can't wait to get indoors, get that heating on, have a nice hot shower. Oh, I cannot wait. Yeah, well, Lee hasn't blanked. Lee just pulled himself a whiting out. I didn't get it on camera. I was down here baiting up. I was putting some fresh bait on, getting ready to cast out, and I heard Lee cheering. And I looked up and I see a whiting. Well done, Lee. Just as some guy walked past. He walked past, he looked at me, then he double took, he looked at me again, and he went, "Are you the YouTube man?" I was like, "I am indeed." I was thinking it ain't going to be a great video today though, mate. Just cut the whiting for me. But that's all the fun of it, innit? Fishing's fishing, innit? As long as I'm out and I'm on the beach and the line's in the water, then I'm having a good time. Spoke to the boys, yeah, they're happy with that. They said, yeah, 1:30, start packing down. So, like I say, got, I don't know, 40 minutes, something like that to go. But, G keeps saying it's not cold. G's like, oh, it ain't cold today, it's lovely warm. But I'll tell you what, I'm feeling it today. I'm feeling it. But I think it's an age thing, innit? I've got 10 years on G, you see. Like I was saying earlier, I turned 48 last week. As you get older, that's it, you feel the cold more, don't you, hey? I'm like an old man. I've only got 2 years and I can go and fish down with Tony Kerridge when he does the OAPs. He does the over 50 competitions, doesn't he? 2 years, Tony, and I'll be coming down and fishing your OAP matches. I'd love to go down there actually. Tony's tackle. He often does competitions and that down there, down on that south coast. I wouldn't mind taking a little drive down there at some point, doing one of them little comps. But yeah, like I say, so fishing we've got planned next week, Tuesday. Yeah, we're definitely going to go Walcott, Backton, something like that. Just a little bit further up north from what we are at Yarmouth, do a bit up there. We're definitely going to do something planned for South Coast, Devon, something like that. Like I say, got a few fish on that species hunt I want to tick off, and that's definitely going to be the place to go to get them. We've done Dorset last year, so we're going to be Devon this year. Yeah, so that'll be something to look forward to. And it's going to be summertime, so I'm going to be fishing in a pair of shorts and a t-shirt, as opposed to fishing in thermal leggings, thermal socks, thermal boots, thermal hat, thermal gloves. Right, we've got about 40 minutes to go, so come on, give me something decent. I'm going to reel these in a second, check the bait situation. It's gone, what's the time now? It's gone 1 o'clock, I know that. That guy come back up to me again, the one that said about the YouTube. And he come up and he was chatting to me again. And he goes, it's really weird, mate. He goes, it feels like I know you. He goes, it feels like we're mates. He goes, I watch all your videos. He goes, it really feels like I know you. And I was saying to him, we was thinking about Walcott, Backton next week. And he was saying about Trimmingham. So I've never fished at Trimmingham. Never fished it. But again, it's an area I would like to fish. So, I don't know, I might have a little look into it. I've just got a bit of a chill day tomorrow. So I might jump on YouTube, have a look and watch a few videos. And yeah, I might give Trimmingham a try. Like I say, we're quite open to where we go. Right, I'm going to reel these in, check the bait, pulley pennel rig. I might pack that one down, get the 2 hook flapper loaded up, get that thrown back out there again. Start to wind down a little bit now. Right, we're getting there. It's just gone 1:15. I've got 1 rod all packed down. That's all done. Reels down there, ready to go in the box. I've still got the other rod out at the moment. That's the 2 hook flapper. I've caught nothing on the 2 hook flapper. Jesus brought another little whiting out, tiny little one. I've caught nothing on the 2 hook flapper all day. Everything I've caught has been on that pulley pennel, on a whole squid. But there you go. Like I say, well, this one's still out, so you never know. Still could get something decent out on this last one. It's been done before, it could happen again. See, there you go. Never say never. Look. tiny little whiting, size of the hook. Look. But because it's a nice big hook, it's literally just gone in the corner of his mouth. Nice and easy to unhook, get off, throw him back in. But just what I was saying, look, sometimes on your last cast, you never know. Right, that is it. We are done. We've called it a day. It's just gone 1:30. We've still got that walk yet. That walk up that alley, that absolutely kills it. Same as usual, all rubbish is in there. Rubbish is going to go in the bin as soon as we get up the top there. Everything's all packed down. What can I say? Just one of them days. At least we didn't blank. At least none of us blanked in the end. I had 2 whiting out. G had, I don't know, 8, 9 little ones. I think he had one fairly decent one, and Lee pulled a whiting out. So none of us blanked. I've got no more species to tick off my species hunt, but we are fishing, like I say, today's Sunday. We are going to be fishing again on Tuesday. Backton, Walcott, Trimmingham. So we're going Norfolk way anyway, that's for sure. We're heading up that way. So yeah, massive thanks for watching the video, guys, and we'll see you in a couple of days where hopefully we do a little bit better. Right, see you on the next one.